This video is partnered by Mint Mobile. Hey guys, before we dive into the video, there's something special I want to share with you. Like many of you, I've been trying to cut back on expenses lately, but let's be real. It's tough when you got things to do and you don't want to give them up. But sometimes you have to make those sacrifices to pay your phone bill and satisfy the big tech companies. That was until I discovered Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless services starting as low as $15 a month. With Mint Mobile, you can get high-speed data plus unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. The best part? You get to keep your phone and even the phone number. Now, if you do want to purchase your own phone, they do have phones available on the website, which you can get through the link. The internet service is reliably fast. It's so seamless, I put it up there with any other network on the market. Now, some of you might think switching to a new service is a hassle. Let me reassure you, this is only going to take you 15 minutes to set up. You could literally do it right now from your phone, no need to leave your house or contact anybody.
And if your device does not support eSIM, then Mint Mobile will personally ship you a physical SIM card.
So if you're like me and you want to save a little bit of money without sacrificing anything, use the link trymintmobile.com/ and start wireless plan today as low as $15 a month. Don't lose out on this opportunity. Start saving money by switching to Mint Mobile today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I, of course, am your host Alyx, just turning on the camera right after I saw AEW Dynamite, the go-home show to the third annual Forbidden Door live in the UBS Arena in New York. I gotta be honest with you. Out of all the Forbidden Door pay-per-view events, and it's only been 3, this is the one I'm the least excited about. And I had to sit on that for a while. Because I don't think it's just because AEW is cold. Overall as a company. I think it also has to do with the card, the structure of it, the people on it, the matchmaking, just the overall presentation of Forbidden Door this year. It just feels off. And I think also what ties into that is the fact that this New Japan Pro Wrestling AEW partnership, it doesn't feel unique anymore. Because back in 2022, when they first started doing it, huge. The first time you saw 2 major promotions coming together for a pay-per-view. And it made a huge impact, clearly. They sold out the arena they were in. Forgot where they were, but it was a sold-out crowd of 18,000, I believe. 12 to 18,000. I just kind of feel like 2 years afterwards, it doesn't feel as important. It doesn't feel as unique. Basically because we've done it so many times and we're seeing different people from different shows and different promotions showing up all year anyways. When it only should be happening now. But we're seeing it so often, Forbidden Door doesn't feel as important. Also, the concept Forbidden Door isn't just exclusive to AEW anymore. Because now WWE's doing it. Well, in particular, NXT's doing it with TNA. So, wrestling shows crossing over, that's starting to lose its luster. So because more companies are doing it, you now have to do something that they're not doing to make it more interesting. And I'm sorry, as time goes by, this Forbidden Door concept is losing its luster. So going forward, if I'm being honest with you, I think we might need to consider not doing this Forbidden Door concept next year. Just a thought. I think they're still going to do it because they're in a partnership, so they can't just not stick to whatever contract they've signed. And I'm pretty sure Forbidden Door is in that partnership. But yeah, this concept has lost its meaning. It doesn't really feel as important. But we'll definitely get into more of why I feel this year's Forbidden Door doesn't hit as much when we talk about the show during predictions. Before we get to any of those things, we have a couple of topics we have to discuss. One in particular that involves absolute Ricky Starks. Then we'll talk about Dynamite this week that just ended, and then we'll get into the prediction show. So thank you all for joining me. I'm not going to waste your time. Honestly, let's just get right to the Ricky Starks news here. This comes from Fightful Select. Sean Ross Sapp put this report out, where essentially they did a huge article on Ricky Starks and his status with AEW currently, because we haven't been seeing him on TV. He's not injured. They just don't have any plans for him. One thing the article said was that Ricky Starks has turned down some storyline ideas pitched to him. One idea that was rejected was a breakup feud with Big Bill, who's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. They were going to break them up because they were tag team champs. They were going to turn Ricky Starks babyface and have Bill go heel. And Starks felt that didn't do anything for any one of them. Either one of them. Starks felt that Big Bill losing to him wouldn't be beneficial and preferred an amicable split. Just split. He's right. What would that feud have done for either one of them? It would have buried Bill. It wouldn't have gotten Ricky Starks over. I agree with that. Starks was not keen on tag team matches. He wants to get away from the tag team scene. He never wanted to be in a tag team with Big Bill. This is why he was left off All In last year. And they had that suspended storyline where he was off screen, off TV in the interim before he had his match at All Out. That was supposed to be a match against CM Punk. As you know, that didn't happen because Punk got fired. And it says here, Starks was particularly unhappy with the lack of a follow-up to his match with Bryan Danielson, and felt his booking took a negative turn after CM Punk was fired. CM Punk was one of the major reasons why Ricky Starks was heavily featured in 2023? Yeah, when Collision debuted. Because he won the Owen Hart Cup, right? He won the Owen Hart Cup, and then after that, they just stopped featuring him. Weird. The last line here, this is the big one. There are people within AEW who believe Ricky Starks wants to go to WWE when his contract expires. I could have just read that and ended things on that note. So, before I get into what I have to say, we don't know when Ricky's contract is expiring. I've heard rumors that it's up this year, that it's up soon. What soon could mean, I have no idea. It could mean next month, it could mean in 3 months. No one knows when his contract is up. But you don't need to read a report to know he's out the door. If he wasn't already out the door because of his lack of TV time, I'm pretty sure he's out the door now when you read that he's turned down storyline ideas. He doesn't even want to do what's being given to him. The guy wants out. He wants to go to WWE, where we all know he will be featured a lot more as a character. That's where he shines. He's good inside the ring, but he's mostly known for his charisma as a character. So someone like that on NXT in particular would be fire. If he goes to NXT, throw the belt on him. Throw the NXT title on him and go with them for a full year. Now, you have to move him up eventually because he's 34 years old. He's not getting younger. So that's going to have to be a quick run on NXT before you move him up to the main roster. But regardless, NXT or they just debut him on the main roster, we all know he's going to be heavily featured simply because AEW misused him. And the guy is young, he's hungry. I think he would be an awesome pickup by WWE. But you don't need a report to know that. He just doesn't gel in AEW. You know, I see people saying that his ceiling was reached. And I do believe that. There is a ceiling to Ricky Starks in AEW. But to be honest, I feel like the rug was also pulled from under him multiple times as well. This isn't just a case where he did his best, they tried, and it didn't work. No, I feel like there's been a lot of start and stop pushes with Ricky Starks. He gets TV time, he gets over, and then they stop using him. By they, I mean Tony Khan. And that's unfortunate because every time they push him and he gets over, he does great work on screen and people watch him. I don't recall one feud or one segment where Ricky Starks wasn't interesting and people went, okay, that's not good. No, every time he's on screen, he knocks it out of the park. Every time. But he's not a Tony Khan favorite. And people need to understand that when it comes to AEW. Tony Khan is going to book people he likes, not who you like. If you happen to like the people he likes, cool. But ultimately, he's booking the show for himself. Ricky Starks is not one of his favorites. It's a toy that he got tired of playing with. It's most likely a toy he was never that into. Maybe at some point he was, but he's not anymore. Especially since we know that Ricky Starks is a fan of CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, but mostly CM Punk. So he's out of there. 100% he's gone. And you know what? I'm happy that if this is going to happen, if he is going to WWE, I'm happy he's making this decision now and isn't waiting until he's 38 or 40 when he's lost his, he's lost his mojo. He's not in his prime anymore. He's not Ricky Starks. This is the perfect time to jump ship. He can always come back. Always know that. If AEW can keep their act together and still last for the next 10 years, he can always come back. Go ahead and leave. Go be a big star in WWE. Go reach new heights. Because it's not here in AEW. So yeah, he's absolutely out. They're not going to make him a world champion or a champion anytime soon. Not with the roster they have. But give me your thoughts about Ricky Starks. Quickly, let me go through Dynamite. I thought Dynamite tonight was a very weird show. Very weird. A lot of people will be looking out for the ratings this week. Because last week they did the lowest rating in Dynamite history, 502,000. I don't want to jinx it. But I have a feeling they'll rebound this week. Again, I'm not trying to jinx them. I would hate to wake up tomorrow and see they got a lower rating. So I have every right to take it back. I still think they'll rebound. I don't think it's going to be like a massive rebound. I don't see them doing like 800K or 900K. 650, 700. That's a good range. 700, 650. I see that. Now watch it be like 400 something. And I'm going to really shut up. I have a feeling they're going to rebound. It might not be a big rebound, but the ratings will be up because of Forbidden Door. I hope. Because, dear God, this show didn't do much to bring in the viewers, but hey, sometimes it's not really about the quality of the show, it's just people's intrigue. How about that? Just a couple of segments I want to go over, because they, I guess, somewhat tie into Forbidden Door. I'm not going to talk about anything that has nothing to do with Forbidden Door. Sorry. I'm not doing it. If I feel like it's not worth my time, it's not worth my attention, I ain't talking about it. It's that simple. They did a segment with the Young Bucks where they announced the wild card pick that's going to be fighting Jeff Jarrett next week will be someone they pick. As soon as they said that, I went, well, it only can be one person. Hangman Page. It can't be Will Ospreay. It's not going to be MJF. None of those make sense. It can only be one guy. Hangman Page. Which made me go, well, god damn it, that means Swerve has to win. If the wild card pick is Hangman Page, and Hangman Page clearly would have to win the tournament if that's the case, then Hangman Page would only end up fighting the right person for him to fight, which is Swerve Strickland, not Will Ospreay. So they basically telegraphed the ending of, well, kind of telegraphed the ending of Forbidden Door. I feel like the opening segment telegraphed the main event more than what this did, if I'm being honest with you. They had MJF go out there. Everyone loves MJF. But then Daniel Garcia walks out there. And of course, Daniel Garcia, hometown hero, Buffalo, New York. That's where they were tonight. You see MJF putting over Daniel Garcia, and they spend a long time really trying to make you feel like Daniel Garcia is a main event player. And look, I love it. I appreciate it. I get annoyed by this stuff because they always say, he's great, he's great, he's great. But then when it comes nut-cutting time for him to win a title, he loses. So I'm sick of this. You want me to see him as a main event player, he needs to beat a main event player. Period. So he's out there getting pumped up by MJF. MJF then challenges him to a match at All In. What? Why All In? What the hell? No title on the line? What is that going to do? That's a weird thing to do. And then Will Ospreay goes out there. And then Will Ospreay offers him an international championship match. Daniel Garcia did mention he wants to fight for the international title, so I guess that makes sense. And then Will Ospreay says, you fight him next week. And then he happened to throw in there, when I beat Swerve Strickland, I will put the other title on the line too. And I went, no, I know you're not going to beat Swerve Strickland. Why would you say that? Such a weird thing to say. And then we see MJF in the background feeling like he got upstaged. And he's pissed off that he got upstaged. And so this opening segment was so weird to me because I'm like, what's the focus here? Are we trying to get Daniel Garcia over? Or is this another way to build to MJF and Will Ospreay? And if that's the case, yeah, I don't see how Daniel Garcia beats Will Ospreay, which is pissing me off because you're building him up, pumping him up as like the next main event player. You know how you make him a main event player? He needs to beat main event players. He needs to beat Will Ospreay for that title next week. I don't think he is. And so once again, you pump up Daniel Garcia only for him to lose. That doesn't make him a main event player. That buries him. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep pumping up these wrestlers, telling me that they're great, and then they just lose anyways. He has to win. So I hope Daniel Garcia wins the title next week. I don't know what that does for Will Ospreay and MJF. Fuck it, figure it out. At this point, they can just do that match without the title. Won't make any sense, but whatever. Daniel Garcia needs to win this match next week. And I'm serious. He needs to beat Will Ospreay. If you want him to be a main event player, you want people to see him as a main event player, he needs to win next week. End of story. He's not. But whatever. AEW just has this weird way of booking shit. They did a segment where the Acclaim did a promo calling out the Elite. The Elite interrupt them, and then apparently the Acclaim challenged them to a match at Forbidden Door, where their partner, of all people, is Scissor Ace. How long are you going to tread this old man out there? Sorry, I gotta say it. Tanahashi old. His knees are about to give out at any second. Why is he still wrestling? He old. Whatever. It's a match. I guess you gotta have him on the show, right? Chris Jericho was supposed to be in a 6-man tag, a trios match, with his learning tree against Samoa Joe and, Hook and Katsuyori Shibata, right? Well, they changed it. Now it's just Chris Jericho fighting Minoru Suzuki for the FTW title. As soon as they said the FTW title was on the line, I said, well, I guess Chris Jericho's winning that match, huh? At least we'll get Suzuki on the show, I guess. He gets to beat up Chris Jericho for like 2 seconds before he loses. Mariah May, Toni Storm, and Mina Shirakawa beat Saraya and her group, the Outcasts. And then afterwards, they go to celebrate with champagne glasses. And then Mina sees Toni Storm hugging on her girl. She gets jealous, gets the champagne glass, goes to hit Toni Storm. Toni Storm ducks out of the way. Oh no, she accidentally, inadvertently, smacks Mariah in the face. Mariah's knocked out. Both of them go to console her. Then they seethe at each other. How dare you do that to my girl? I guess by default, this is the best storyline they have because it's a story that is somewhat coherent. I say somewhat, not all the way coherent, but in terms of what they have and the rest of the storylines, yeah, it's sad for me to say this is their best story going into Forbidden Door. This love triangle. Wow, that's not good. That worries me a lot, that this is their best story. And it's not even that great. I'm sorry, it's not. It's a basic bare bones love triangle. That's it. When it's all said and done, it's not going to get anybody over. That's sad. It's sad. But whatever. And then, of course, the main event was Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland taking on the Embassy. I don't know their names. I don't even want to look it up. It was a can they coexist match. Can Will Ospreay and Swerve work it out? Of course they do. They have some dissension during the match, but eventually they win the match. And then afterwards, Will Ospreay takes the title and Swerve says, oh, hell nah. Kicks his leg, hits him with the kick in the face. The house call. And I think this is supposed to make you think that Will Ospreay might be winning this Sunday. I have a different opinion. And I think that's my cue to get to the prediction show. I don't have all of the graphics for the matches because they're still making them. So I'll just use this. You have to forgive me. I usually have graphics ready for you when it comes to my prediction show. I don't have it this time. So we'll start off with the matches I don't really care about. So we got like 3 matches on here that are just thrown together. MJF versus Hechicero. What? What? That's the best you got for MJF? We're in his hometown. This is the best you got? Is the match going to be good? I'm pretty sure, but why should I give a damn about this? Forbidden Door. Oh my God. You got to make people care. Matches like this aren't going to do anything for anyone. And you know that's true. Whatever. MJF will beat him. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. Why? Why? Because Forbidden Door. Again, I understand doing this the first year. Because it's the first time we're seeing it. You can't keep doing this every year. You can't just be throwing out random matches, pressing random. This guy from New Japan versus this guy from AEW. That's not going to work. We need reasons to care. I don't care about this match. Will the match be good? Just like MJF and Hechicero? Sure. I'm assuming Zack Sabre Jr. wins this one. I guess. Nothing else to really say there. Mercedes Mone versus Stephanie Vaquer. I love Mercedes, but it's clear as day that she'll be Mercedes 2 belts. Don't really care about Stephanie whatsoever. Sorry. They just announced that Hiroshi Tanahashi and the Acclaimed are taking on Okada and the Young Bucks. Alright. Fine match, I guess. The New Elite win. It would really suck if Tanahashi's old knees finds a way to beat Okada and the Young Bucks. So the New Elite will probably keep their heat going. Jericho versus Minoru Suzuki. Match is going to be a crazy one-sided fest where Suzuki beats the piss out of Jericho, and then Jericho gets a lucky victory over him by interference or something, I don't know. Chris Jericho wins that one. This ladder match for the AEW TNT Championship, the title that Edge, Adam Copeland, vacated. I mean, it can only be one person winning this match. Jack Perry, right? We got Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Lita Rush, and then whoever is going to be coming in from New Japan or CMLL in that final spot. Sure, Jack Perry. Just feels right. I think that's all the matches I'm just kind of just whatever about. Now let's get to the matches I'm actually interested in. Starting off with Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. This is a Forbidden Door match I'm looking forward to. They are going to beat the piss out of each other. They have similar styles. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great match. Danielson is going to win because he goes to the finals, I believe. It would make the most sense, especially if Hangman Page is going to be on the other side. Yeah, that's about right. Danielson basically goes to the finals. But whatever. Match will be great. Looking forward to it. Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP New Japan Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. Why would you not like this match? This is going to be an awesome bout. It's Tetsuya Naito and Jon Moxley. Of course it's going to be great. I'm assuming Tetsuya Naito wins the belt back. I think that's why they had Moxley win it the first time, so Naito can win it right back here. Should be a great match. Timeless Tony Storm versus Mina Shirakawa. As I said before, this is the only coherent story they got. I think because it's so bare bones and basic, it basically makes it the best thing they got. It's hard to not follow it. It's a love triangle. Mina wants Mariah May to herself. Tony says, nah, she's mine. They're fighting over the title and Mariah. Who will win? Tony Storm, of course. The match better be good. I'm hoping the match is actually great, because they actually gave it some heat tonight. Make sure y'all make the most out of that. The one match that I am buying the pay-per-view for, this is the only reason I am spending $50. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay in the main event for the AEW World Championship. Get ready for another 5-star classic. Get ready for another AEW banger. This is a match that I think by the end of the year, we'll be talking about as one of the top 10 best matches all year. At least for AEW. This is going to be a banger. You got two legit pros at this game. You got two men who have known each other for decades, who have similar styles, and who are going to go in there and tear the house down PWG style. When it's all said and done, it's going to come close. I think Swerve Strickland takes the title. He might cheat, but I think Will Ospreay will falter because he won't hit the Tiger Driver. Swerve would just take advantage of it and beat him. 1, 2, 3. Simple as that. And then Swerve will go on to fight Hangman Page at All In, which I don't hate. I'm not against that. I just have to question, if you do that match, we all know you can't just have a regular singles match, right? They literally had a series of very violent matches that includes their match at Full Gear, which to me is the most violent match I've seen so far in AEW history, the Texas Death Match. I don't think you could just do a regular match between those two. Whatever the match you do, it's gotta be on a different level. What, 3 stages of hell, I suppose? You can't call it Hell in the Cell, but a cage match? Whatever they decide to do, it's gotta be violent. So, I see that being the main event of All In this year. I mean, I've seen worse main events. And it makes sense. In terms of a main event program, yeah, that's the strongest that they have. Because that actually spans what feels like at least a full year of storytelling. At least a full year of storytelling. Because we still go back to Swerve invading Hangman's house, trying to attack his kid. And then, of course, Hangman going crazy and trying to ruin his career. The crowd turning on Hangman, getting behind Swerve. So there's a lore here. There's a big lore here that you can use for that main event, and it would make sense. Again, you can't just do a singles match. There has to be some kind of a stipulation behind it that allows them to be violent. So we'll see what they do there. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I got my thoughts in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. As you follow out, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. Love you all. Catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. A place it is, was, and forever. Forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I will see you this Sunday, live, for my review of AEW Forbidden Door 2024. Until then, take care, guys. Peace. When you're when you're